God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows.
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 49 of Your Journey Is Not Over. My name is Tanya Pearson Randolph. This is my own personal journey, and the expressions and opinions are of my own. I own all the rights to my personal journey, and to Your Journey Is Not Over. Neither are to be used, copied, or edited in any way without my consent. Before I begin today, I do want to say, looking back throughout my life and traveling on my own yellow brick road, my own healing journey, I've begun to put the pieces of my life together. It's almost like a puzzle with a million pieces, and you have no idea what this puzzle is supposed to even look like. No picture on the box to look at to give you some idea what the completely finished picture is going to look like. Also, along my healing journey, and digging deeper into my own personal spirituality, I've begun to piece these pieces together, slowly. Looking back from the beginning of my memories, small childhood memories, and how I was raised, by whom I was raised. But again, putting the pieces of my puzzle together, I've begun to not only accept, but I've begun to understand and to heal and release every trauma that I experienced. I now also understand that the things that were done to me, well, they were done to me early, from as far back as I can remember. The betrayals at the deepest levels, too, every level. The backstabbing, the lying on me or about me. So, yes, slander. Always trying to make me look bad or worse than what I truly was. All done to me by the one person that gave birth to me, brought me into this world. So, the abuse, the lies, the slander, the becoming best friends with people who disliked me for whatever reason, sleeping with guys I was with or I dated, the starvation purposely imposed on me, re-victimizing me by bringing my confessed perpetrator into my home, my safe place. He was also the person who, during the sexual assaults, had told me no one would ever believe me, or that he would kill me if I ever told. Those are two of the most common things that are told to small children who are impressionable. And those two things, they instill so much fear in a child. So most, not all, but most stay silent. And they carry that, not only the trauma, but the fear that was programmed into their minds starting at such a young age. And for those of us who have spoken and do speak about it, we are in fact lighting the path for others to break those chains, tell their truths, say farewell to that fear, and so long to that shame that wasn't ours to carry. We are called generational curse breakers, generational cycle breakers, so that others may step in, step up, and speak out, and do the same, not only for themselves, but their entire lineage, and most important, the generations to come. Now back to what I was saying. Having a karmic mother, that's what God chose for me. And I now understand that all that she did, let be done to me, or participated in whatever way to hurt me, well, that was her job, her purpose, no matter how painful. I will always say God wasted no time in my soul getting to work here on this earth. My lessons literally started breath one. While on my journey, I now understand that it was in fact her purpose. What's the best way I can explain this? Okay, we all have a purpose, right? Each and every soul. So I now see it was my mom's soul, and she was directed to teach me all the most painful lessons early on. God knew my path, and like he said, April 16th, 2024, directly to me, he wanted me kind. He wanted me compassionate. He wanted me empathetic. He wanted me to have a love for all people. But most important, he said, I want you relatable and approachable. Well, I could have never been any of that had I not experienced every single thing, good or bad, that I did. So instead of looking at it like my mom or others, and there are some that I refer to as demons, these are the people that were supposed to hurt me, destroy me, dim my light, so that I may not know my worth, see my worth, my value. I now, looking back, see how every person, bad or good, was used to teach me, give me the lessons, the experience, the knowledge that I truly was going to need. And never forget that it's exactly what each of us, our souls, signed up for. Once you get to that place on your healing journey and you realize nothing was ever done to you, it was all truly done for you, God's plan all along with understanding it that way too. I have no animosity, no resentment, no anger, and most important, I have no more pain, no more heartbreak, and there are no more tears to shed over the pain, the hurts, the betrayals. There is no more, how could others choose to do that to me when I was nothing but pure hearted, loving, kind, giving, nurturing, and always trying to help in whatever way. Lend a hand, a shoulder to cry on, and always there for emotional support. Well, that's just who I am, how I was built, how God made me. And as the Bible teaches us, even though we are created equally, we are all crafted and designed individually by God Himself. We're all one of a kind. So we are each here to teach and learn so many lessons throughout our journey. We don't even realize it, or should I say, I sure didn't. Also, I have nothing in my heart but understanding and forgiveness for those that chose to hurt me in whatever way. What was my whole life supposed to hurt me only truly built me into who I am now. And with the lessons, the experience, unlike anyone else, again, unique, my path that God built for me. And I also now want to convey to everyone that listens in and follows me that your path was constructed and designed by God. It's unique to you and who you are and who God knew you would one day become. After going down every path that you were supposed to travel, learning the lessons, gaining the experiences and the knowledge that later on would come into play, benefit you, that gave you survival skills, wisdom you would have never have gotten had you not experienced what you had. So like with my mom, since I now understand it all spiritually, I now thank her for being a teacher to me starting breath one. Yes, everything she did herself, or again allowed or participated in, taught me that throughout life, people will betray you. They will backstab you. They will lie on you. They will slander your name, anything and everything under the sun. She was given to me not only as my mother, but my teacher by God to teach me all the hurt, the pain, the betrayals, and the abandonment, so that throughout my life, there wouldn't be another soul that could hurt me worse. I couldn't nor wouldn't have anything done to me by others that I hadn't have already experienced by my own mother. So the most recent of my journey, these last few years of my life, was just putting the final puzzle pieces together to begin to see the finished picture, the entire picture. But first, I will tell you about the lessons I was forced to learn, the experiences, and also the wisdom and knowledge that I had yet to learn before I finished my puzzle. Even though I thought I was defeated countless times these past 2 years, God said, "Oh no, Tanya, you're not down. You're not out. We are not done. You're on the home stretch, my daughter, and I didn't bring you all this way for you to give up now. I need you to dig deeper than you ever have before and use the faith, the strength, the wisdom, the knowledge, and the grace that I've bestowed upon you throughout your entire life." God said to me, I was preparing you for exactly this moment in time. This is when all that you have acquired will become the most useful, when you will begin to rely on every tool, every skill, every ounce of training you endured to be able to survive what lay ahead. Spiritual warfare. Unbeknownst to me, I entered a battle zone where I had absolutely no clue there was even a conflict, let alone a battle. With being led by God, I was led into one of the worst battles of my life to date. I had two choices in this battle. I could succumb to the devil and his demons and give him my soul, April 6, 2024, which, as you can clearly tell, did not happen. Amen. Thank you, God. Or I could stand up, get educated, do a crash course, in fact. Thank goodness for the fact I can speed read and I have a photogenic memory, and I'm a quick study. I asked a lot of questions. I reached out to leaders and teachers to educate me further into spirituality. And most important, being able to use my gifts, my intuition, my foresight for the better of me to help and protect myself. Something I have used and given so freely to help others my whole life. Well, the devil wanted me, and he didn't get his way, no matter what, no matter who, what was said, or by whom. By the way, a lot's going to be addressed and cleared up. As my grandma always said, the truth shall set you free. My saying now, shame the devil, tell the truth. So the devil and his demons will be shamed and exposed throughout my journey. If I can tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God, about my mom, what makes others think along my journey I won't expose what they chose to do to me too? At the most beat up, weakest, depleted in every way part of my journey. And as my most recent part of my journey unfolds, you will begin to see that the devil seen my pain, my despair, my losses, my vulnerabilities, seeing that I was completely alone. There was no big brother, no husband, no one to protect me, but I had God. I was standing alone completely, again, but I had God. So that when the devil came full force, and well, let's just say he started the battle. I have never started a fight in my entire life, but I was taught by my big brother, you never start it, but you damn sure finish it. The devil would be no exception. He started the battle by using those low vibrational people within their souls. These are people that I had around me that love twisting my pain and creating more. They love hurting others. They feed off of it. By hurting others, it made them feel good about themselves, their lives, their egos, just who they are, how they operate through life. Like somehow by hurting and betraying and using others gives them a leg up, some status, some popularity, and it strokes their ego. Hurting another makes some feel so good. To me, it's so twisted. But again, we are each on our own journeys. I always say to myself, though, let's see how popular those same people are with God. That's where I get my humor, going through all that has happened to me throughout my life. All that I've been forced to endure and overcome and survive does help to come through it all with a sense of humor, which I was also blessed with. Well, the devil began the battle with me, so I stepped into what would become a war that, along with God as my backup, that I could not nor would not lose. And as I say now, if you want a spiritual war with me, you must plan on bringing some backup, because I'm 10 toes down with God as my backup. And with God, I will never lose any battle nor any spiritual war. Also, before I end today, I have so much to share, by the way. In episode after episode, I will try and convey everything I've learned. But today, I want to express please be careful of people. Yes, coming from the girl who went through life with rose colored glasses on, trusting people. That was me then, not me now. I've learned a lot of lessons these past 2 years. But again, the demons come in all forms. Whoever the devil can influence to come against you will. As my grandma always said, anyone can throw a dress on and call themselves a Christian. It's what's in your heart and soul that God sees, not what you wear. Well, anyone can put on a cross necklace and give the illusion that they're a good person, that they believe in God, are godly in some way. That illusion that's cast onto others just by a simple piece of jewelry hanging around someone's neck. Well, the most evil hearted people that were around me, and I call them undercover agents working for the devil, they all wore cross necklaces. Sure did. And in my human form, because we are souls sent here to experience human life. So we are in every sense human. And I ask God to forgive me every single day because I am human with human reactions, human feelings, and human responses. So I wish that those very necklaces would somehow tarnish their necks, just to expose the fakeness, the imposters, expose those for exactly who they are. Please don't get fooled by what I call propaganda. That's meant to be an illusion. Let others' guards down, all by a piece of jewelry. And please remember that there are a lot of good, kind hearted people in this world that choose every day to be kind. And on the flip side, there are some bad, evil people with malice and intent to harm others that also choose to be the way they are. But with both comes lessons, experiences, and wisdom. And as I always say, use your intuition, use your discernment, listen to your gut. I do not own the rights to the things I chose to share today. At any given moment, you have the power to say, "This is not how my story will end." Your next chapter is waiting. Please pick up that pen. Isaiah 41, verse 10, "Fear you not, for I am with you." God allowed Peter to fall into the water, but didn't let him drown. God allowed Moses to face the Red Sea with no way out, but he did not let him perish. God allowed Joseph to be cast into the pit, but he didn't let him be forgotten. God will always deliver you from your troubles. Just trust him more and don't waver in your faith. Let people be who they are. Adjust your proximity accordingly. Burn every bridge in your life that takes you back to destruction. There's a kind of hurt that doesn't cry or scream. It just quietly rewrites who you are. Access to you is a privilege. This does not make you arrogant. It simply makes you conscious, purposeful, and intentional. Psalms 55, verse 22. Even when life feels heavy, God is your strength. He will carry you when you cannot walk and lead you to a place of peace. A positive attitude gives you power over your circumstances instead of your circumstances having power over you. Every choice you make is the right one. Even your mistakes are part of the plan, because the decisions you've made and the ones yet to be made are shaping you into who you're meant to become. If you went back and fixed all of your mistakes, you wouldn't be you anymore. You don't need to regret the past. You just need to trust the path. What feels like an ending might just be a new beginning. God is still writing your journey. He hasn't ran out of grace, direction, or goodness for you. Don't give up, friend. The next chapter might be the one you've been waiting for. This concludes my podcast for today. Please join me Thursday, listen in, and always remember, your journey is not over. God bless.
God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been